Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Heather. I am an intuitive artist, author, animal communicator, energy healer for pets and people, coach, psychic medium channeler, and I'm on a mission to empower and embolden others to connect with their divine radiant light and honor the sacred connection with all life. I'm so happy that you're here, and there are a few new subscribers on the channel, so thank you so much. It means the world to me. And speaking of the world, I'd love to know where in the world you are watching this. So if you feel like leaving a comment and a little introduction, I do read all the comments. I'd love to know where you're watching from. This video is a continuation of our series where we are going back through the first book that I released called Hey Radiant Souls, A Guide to Finding and Shining Your Light. And we're just seeing what channeled wisdom my guides would like to bring through in support of the topics that were in the book. So the book was a primer, a template, a blueprint for us to find our way back to ourselves, because being human, whether you consider yourself on the spiritual path or just, normal, just walking through normal everyday life, things can come in and divert us and take our attention away from our highest and best expression of self. And that's part of the challenge of being human. That's the whole game right there. So what do you do when you don't remember who you are, when you don't have a very keen awareness of that absolute divine, luscious, beautiful soul that you are within you? How do you find your way back or discover it for the first time? So that's what we're talking about here today. We are on step 4, which is choose your view. And as you will see in a couple of minutes, the channeled guidance was about, and as you can guess from the phrase choose your view, shifting your perspective. I think we forget sometimes because we get so used to our routines, we get so used to our beliefs, we get so used to our thoughts that we forget that we can be separate from all of those. That's not necessarily what makes us up as people, as souls. And so we can choose a different view, to shift our perspective, to look at what we focus on a little bit differently. And that's really what this chapter is all about. So I want to share, as I do in each of these videos, the first bit of channeled guidance that came through in 2020 for this particular topic. Hey, Radiant Soul, when you first open your eyes upon waking, where does your gaze settle? Do you notice the laundry piled up on the floor? Do you pick up your devices and check the latest headlines? Do you review the to-do list and feel defeated before you're even fully awake? During your day, are you gazing outward or in? Eyes uplifted in hope or cast down in fear? It isn't about the proverbial half empty or full glass, but instead the clarity and texture of the glass you choose to look through. Avoid coloring your experiences by shading them with darkness. Instead, polish them with iridescence. Choose your view. So that was what the team had to say in 2020. Let's see the channel message that came through today. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. You have such a power within you. You have such a sacred duty of honor within you through which you can routinely choose your view. Some of you may see this as being limited to your perspective upon the world around you. I may choose to see peace where there is war. I may choose to see happiness where there is sadness. I may choose to see opportunity where there is limitation. However, we would say you can also internalize this aspect of choosing your view for yourselves. You can choose to feel empowered and view yourself as a limitless being. You can choose to disagree with the limiting beliefs in your head. You can choose to view the way in which you are categorized by others as false. You can choose your view in so many different moments throughout the day that it can also feel exhausting. And so we would also say to you, it is somewhat like a muscle that you can strengthen and build. To do this, if you are uncomfortable choosing your view, if this is new to you, that you feel surprised, that you need not accept the conditions and criteria around you or within you as being anything other than a perspective, we would say to you, practice with something small. Choose your view of your mood, and bringing that awareness to yourself can be very helpful. If you find yourself in anger, in frustration, in impatience, choose to shift that and simply say to yourself, this is not the view that I choose in this moment. And allow another opportunity to come forward for you. That does not mean that the traffic jam doesn't occur, that the argument doesn't transpire, that whatever it is that triggers you, as you say, doesn't happen, but your reaction, your view can be different. Allow there to be space within you so that you can pull back and see a broader landscape. And we would say that is perspective in two different terms of the definition. You can have a perspective as far as I am looking to the left, I'm looking to the right, I'm looking straight ahead, I am looking down. That is where you have chosen to place your view. Perspective can also be I am looking at things from a much higher aspect. If you imagine taking a flight on an airplane, you know that what you are looking at from 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet is the same geography, but it looks so very different from when you are no longer on the plane, but driving on that highway that looks so small from within the plane as you look out the window. What can you view in your own life from that higher perspective? And remember, higher does not mean better. Higher is just a shift in perspective. What are you walking through right now that feels heavy, that feels dense, that feels challenging, that feels limiting? And if you shift your perspective, if you choose your view to see that from a perspective that is different in relation to time, everything feels compressed when you are in the moment. When you pull back and say, this is just one aspect of me. This is just one moment. This is just one day. This is just 1 year. How does that change your approach to it? How does that change your way in which you navigate your emotions, your thoughts, your actions? Choosing your view can be so very helpful as you walk through the world. And many of you who seek guidance through your team of guides, your higher self, that is what you are doing. You are choosing a view that is different from the one coming out of your eyeballs in your present moment, as you may say. Allow yourself to expand into the fullness of who you are, and you will find that connection to higher self, to guides, to your helpers, to the legions of angels who are available to assist you. That allows them to do so when you pull back from being so very boxed in to your view. We thank you so much for your time and attention today. Be blessed, dear friends. So I hope that there are some tips there that you can take away and apply in your daily life. I really like the view, or the perspective, view, pun intended, of shifting things to a higher aspect, because especially when we look at that from the perspective of time, like the team said, it takes the pressure off of us a little bit, or it gives us a larger context. And so much of what we do on a daily basis is deadlines, and this is coming up, and this is happening in the world, and it starts to feel like compressed, and like there's a lot of pressure. But when we look out over the course of a lifetime, or multiple lifetimes, or eons, and just oodles and bunches of time, can you feel less pressured for something, but also can you see the patterns? And I think that's what I felt when the team was talking about looking out your airplane window. You can kind of see geography and patterns and neighborhoods in a different way than you would if you were on the ground driving through them. So pulling back that perspective, choosing your view can be really helpful in navigating your way through being human, which is what we're all here to do. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.